What's going on, guys? This is Serial God Yu-Gi-Oh here, and today I'm just doing a deck profile of my Photon Galaxy deck for April 2020, Master Rule 5. So I've actually been messing around with this deck for about 2 years now, since like the new support came out, or the relatively new support came out. I enjoy it. I consider it a good tier 2 deck. I've done well with it at locals, going just like 3 and 1 sometimes, or 4 and 1. So it can get there when you need it to. And especially with different things that we've gotten like Union Carrier recently, it helps with the consistency of the deck to get to some of the boards that you want to achieve. And yeah, it just helps with overall consistency. But yeah, so for the deck list, of course, you run the staple 3 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. This is basically the backbone of the deck. It's the card that you're bringing back with Galaxy Knight, and it's what's getting you into all of your rank 8s, XCs that you play. It does have its own on-board effect, the battle phase effect, banishing it and your opponent's monster, which can come up once in a while, and its special summon effect, which does come up now and then, especially when you have, say, photon tokens on board and you need to cheese out a level 8 to get into your rank 8s. So yeah, all of its effects do come in now and then, but it's very important. 3 Galaxy Knight. We run 3 Galaxy Knight just for consistency, especially if we're running Desires in the build. You can knock this down to 2 if you're not afraid of banishing your copies, but you want to make sure that you have more than one, but drawing into multiple copies can be kind of clunky because more or less this is your core normal summon in the deck, and seeing more than one is just kind of not optimal unless you're going to send it off with trade in. Next, we're running 3 Galaxy Soldier. This, again, another staple card in the deck. It searches all your Galaxy cards. You can summon multiple on board to go into Cyber Dragon, Nova, Infinity plays. And it helps you pitch things into the graveyard that you don't want in hand, such as pitching Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to get it into grave so you can summon it back with Galaxy Knight. So it has its different effectiveness in that manner. We run 2 Photon Thrasher. This is one of your starters. If you draw this turn 1, you special this out, and then you special out one of your other monsters, or you equip, say, Photon Orbital to it to get a search off. At 3, it's a little clunky because you're not going to be wanting it later or mid game. You basically just want it turn 1, or even if you search it later on, you're just using it to pitch for, say, summoning Galaxy Soldier or something of that matter. But yeah, two is okay. Some even bump it down to 1. We run 3 Photon Vanisher. I like drawing into this. It's another way to search Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. It thins the deck. Its secondary effect comes up once in a while when it's used as a material. But more or less, you're mainly going to be summoning this to use as link fodder. So, but yeah, stable 3 of it's an extender. Teching in this build 1 Photon Advancer. This is good because say you've already summoned your Photon Vanisher for the turn, which you can only do once per turn. Having Photon Advancer as a searchable option or as something to draw into allows you another special summon if you need to go into a link play, or if you want to go into your one of your rank 4s. Plus, the added bonus that a lot of the cards in this deck can't be normal summoned or easily normal summoned without tributes. So having another monster that you can search to normal summon, that way you can special summon other things, is beneficial. We run 3 Photon Orbital. This may more or less is the best card in the deck. It equips from hand onto a Photon or Galaxy monster, and then it sends itself from the spell and trap card zone to search basically any Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck. If it's equipped to a monster, it gives it plus 500, which does come up now and then if you need to beat over something. But yeah, best card. It's worth the price tag right now. We'll see if it gets the reprint. We run 1 Dragon Buster Destruction Lockout Sword. Yeah, we're running Union Carrier, and we have access to dragons, so this is a no-brainer. You have access to a lock on your opponent, so we're gonna use this while we can. 3 Photon Sanctuary. This is what I consider one of the other best cards in the deck, maybe second or third best. You get to summon 2 Photon tokens that are light, and you are locked into light monsters for the turn, but that doesn't matter because Basically everything that we play in the deck and extra deck, minus maybe Boral Sword, is a light monster. If you summon these two tokens, you can actually send them off to summon Union Carrier, so that's pretty crazy. And one of the other great things about this is it's not once per turn, so if you draw into multiple Photon Sanctuaries, you could summon Union Carrier and use, say, do a Photon Orbital play out of deck, or you could summon your Soul Flare Dragon and then summon a Union Carrier after it and equip Buster Sword out of the deck, so it has a lot of utility. We're running our one Rhoda. This allows us to search Photon Thrasher, Vanisher, as well as Advancer. So it's pretty mandatory. Two Desires. This is kind of a rogue janky deck, and we do need to get more cards in hand, basically. We run a lot of 3-ofs of our core cards, so I think we can afford to do this. 3 trade-ins. You run right now you're running 6 level 8s, but you also have another 3 cards that can search level 8s, another 3 cards that can search your level 8s, another 3 cards that can search level 8. So you have so many ways to get to your level 8s just for more draw power or pitch fodder. So 3 trade-in has actually worked pretty well in this build. 2 Galaxy Expedition. Since it's a hard once per turn, that's why I haven't been running 3. 3 is pretty decent, especially when you're going turn 1. And one of the things that is also good about this is you do not have to summon a monster that is the same level as the one you target. So if you have, say, one of your level 8s on board, you can summon out a Galaxy Soldier or a level 5. And when Galaxy Soldier is summoned from the deck off that effect, it procs, and you can search another monster, another Galaxy monster from your deck. So that's actually one of the nice how do I put it, combos that you can get off of your Galaxy Expedition. Running 1 Monster Reborn, pretty standard, just another extender. Running 3 Called by the Grave, use this to deal with hand traps that are kind of coming up more in the current meta, as well as some of the matchups where there's a lot of grave activity. Get rid of Eldritch, things like that. 3 Infinite Impermanents, best hand trap, as well as 3 Solemn Strike. I was running Tachyon Transmigration. It's one of the best counter traps in the game, but still having a Galaxy Eyes monster on board can be kind of hit or miss, especially in my previous builds. Before we got Union Carrier, it wasn't always guaranteed that you were going to get to one turn 1, so I had been running Solemn Strike for a while, but we may end up going back to Transmigration. Now for the extra deck, of course we're running the 1 Union Carrier. Allows us to get to our Photon Orbital as well as our Buster Sword from main deck and get greater consistency or get into our locks. Running our Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon. Now this card is very good for this deck. It has 2 really solid effects. One is the fact that on summon you can add back a Galaxy or Photon monster from your graveyard to hand, so you can recur some things. But also on your opponent's turn, it has a Trident effect. By discarding Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, you can target a special summon monster your opponent controls and destroy it, which is a lot of people overlook that bit, and it does come up a lot. Running 1 Boral Sword for the OTKs. Running 1 Starliege Photon Blast Dragon. This can cause some soft locks, especially if you're able to get your Photon Orbital equipped to it and boost its attack, or if you're able to get Buster Sword onto it and boost its attack, which makes all your monsters you control, how you put it, untargetable for card effects, as well as the fact that when it's summoned, you can special summon a Photon monster from hand. So it does act as an extender sometimes. And then its quick effect, you can detach a material from the card to target a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon that's banished or engraved, special summon it. So it has many effects, and it does come up now and then. We run 1 copy of Starliege Lord Galaxian as an extender. Basically, if you have 2 level 4s, you go into him, and you can detach 2 materials to get your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from deck. This comes up now and then, and sometimes you'll end up just linking him off anyway, and you can use him to go into, say, Soul Flare, or yeah, usually Soul Flare. We have the Cyber Dragon Nova in Infinity that we use with our Galaxy Soldiers when you overlay them. We have one copy of Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. Uh, this is more or less the best rank 8 in the deck. It cannot be destroyed by card effects. If you have a Photon card as material, when an opponent activates, or when an opponent's monster activates an effect, quick effect, you can detach a material and negate that effect. And if it was if the detached material is a Galaxy card, you can destroy your opponent's card. And during your opponent's turn, you can take a Photon or Galaxy card from your deck and either add it to your hand or attach it as material. Now, when we eventually get Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon, the attachment of material, especially using Afterglow Dragon, will be more pertinent and used, but right now it's mainly for adding cards to hand, especially during the end phase. Or if you have Soul Flare on board, you add Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your main deck to your hand during your opponent's main phase. That way you have Drynant effect on board. Running one copy of Felgrand for negations of your opponent's monsters effects. One copy of Titanic Galaxy for spell negations and rerouting attacks. One copy of Draglubian for extenders, plus, how do you put it? This card is untargetable by opponent's card effects. One copy of Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon for big attack boost and OTKs, as well as one copy of Full Armor Photon Dragon and Cypher Blade Dragon for popping opponent's cards. Now, some of the other cards that we're either waiting on or have been considering for extra deck options or main deck options include Afterglow Dragon. Hopefully this will be coming out in the next couple sets. Other cards that you can also tech in are Levianeer, so this can, especially mid-game and late game, this can assist you with going into your rank 8 plays, as well as Nebula Dragon. Nebula Dragon may be something that I'll be adding in once we get Galaxy Eyes Afterglow, since there is some synergy there. Other cards for consideration would be Dingirsu, as well as Xenophon to lock your opponent out from special summoning from grave. Galaxy Satellite Dragon is a pretty good OTK card. Once we get Afterglow, or if you're running Levianeer in the main deck, Melody of Awakening Dragon is a decent card to run for searching them out. And if you thin your deck out, of course, Upstart Goblin. But yep, that is my Galaxy Eyes Photon Galaxy deck profile for April 2020 Master Rule 5. This is Zero God Yu-Gi-Oh!